Good morning, good
Awesome.
evening, good afternoon, everyone, based on your time, Sean. Welcome in Salesforce Apex Hour. And today we are going to talk about what it takes to publish your first app on AppExchange. And we have a great speaker and CTA speaker, Jacob. Let me hand over him for the presentation and the session. Over to you.
Hey, Amit, thank you for having me and thank you all for joining or listening to us. My name is Jakub Stefaniak. I'm Salesforce CTA and author of the recently published book AppExchange Success Blueprint. And on a daily basis, I work as VP of Technology Strategy and Innovation at Akiva Labs. It's one of expert video companies. So literally, video is like, super small niche when we are helping ISVs in building their AppExchange applications, providing some consulting, helping them get more from AppExchange ecosystem. Before I joined Akiva Labs, I spent a few years working in different product companies. So I think this mix of experience from building products and then providing consultings to other companies building their products was like the reason why one day I decided that just putting everything on a paper and publishing as a book can be like the easiest way to share this knowledge. Our plan for today, we are going to start with thinking, okay, does it even make sense to build AppExchange apps? And when you think about Salesforce ecosystem and 150,000 plus Salesforce customers, the number of companies using AppExchange product is quite big. More than 90% of Salesforce customers has at least one AppExchange app installed on their production org. So we are talking about more than 12 million installed app instances. For most of the bigger orgs, you have like maybe hundreds, maybe like 50, maybe 20. So the mix of installations is quite big. And it means that building AppExchange apps, for me, is one of the reasons why Salesforce is in such a unique place and is literally a leading platform. So the partnership network which they create is something really which making it very easy to add new capabilities for their customers. And on the other hand, it's really a competitive advantage compared to other CRM, sales, service, this kind of applications. And AppExchange Partners, so what they are doing? Most of all, enhancing the Salesforce capabilities. So when you think about how many big companies can buy Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, this number is rather limited. Most of the companies are already using it. So the way for Salesforce to scale is exactly partners building the AppExchange apps. With AppExchange, we can add specific needs. So we can have to cover some edge cases, some industries, some requirements which are not part of the core platform. And then we can provide industry-specific solutions. So when you think about many Salesforce products like Industries Cloud, for example, they started as AppExchange product. And now, thanks to working with your customers, thanks to the fact that you have like some unique knowledge about specific industry, you can easily build AppExchange app, which is going to target the specific customers. And the great example is one of our customers, company called Captio, ISV from Iceland. They started with building consulting experience, working with different travel companies from Iceland. And based on this experience, they were able to build a very successful OEM product. So your current experience with working with Salesforce customers is the most valuable asset for thinking what kind of app you can build. What is the problem with making these big visions into reality? Becoming AppExchange partner, it's maybe not very difficult, but it's not easy to get all the knowledge and it's not easy to start getting this knowledge. The reason why is that there are three main tracks which you have to handle to publish your application on the AppExchange. There is part about technology, building up, passing security review, preparing everything. There is part about your go-to-market. So how we are planning to sell, market, reach customers, what is your customer profile, and so on. And there is a business track. So you have to define your business plan. You must sign 2 different types of partnership agreements with Salesforce. You must to speak with their representative. You must to publish this application. So I remember when first time, like many years ago, I thought about building my own application as a young developer. amount of these different things which you have to learn was just a little bit overwhelming, especially that there was no a single place when I can just learn about all these things. You have to speak with different people, go through different resources. And this onboarding process, as I said, it's not difficult, but understanding it is like quite difficult at the beginning to know what you have to know. And it's our goal for today. So I hope that at end of this hour, we are going to understand what are all steps, all specializations, all areas of knowledge which you have to think about sooner or later to become successful ISV partner. And why? Why is that? Especially if you are currently working as administrator, as consultant, as Salesforce developer. The reason is that I really like this quote from Joel Spolsky, so let me read it loudly for you. Internal in-house software is rarely important enough to justify hiring rock stars. That's why the most satisfying careers, if you are a software developer, are at actual software companies, not doing IT for some bank. And it's exactly in context of Salesforce ecosystem. It's even if you don't plan to found your own AppExchange application, while working for ISVs or PDOs, it can be more difficult, but for sure it's more funny and more rewarding comparing to standard project when you have lots of technical debt, 15 years of mistakes on your Salesforce account. You know what I'm talking about. Just building AppExchange apps is literally awesome way to take your current technical knowledge, your experience from different industries, and make them into something meaningful. Okay, so the first step is to think, is Salesforce really the right platform for your idea? You have some specific application requirements which must be possible to implement on this cloud platform. The user experience of AppExchange apps, usually AppExchange apps are successful when they are compatible with Salesforce user interface, which means that if you would like to build something totally custom, it may not be a good fit for you. If you need to integrate your idea with other systems, then integration on Salesforce as well, follow some patterns. If you know that you are going to require your application to integrate with many systems which you do not own, doing it from Salesforce can be sometimes difficult for ISVs. To build AppExchange application, you need to have time and resources. So having like a team of Salesforce developers or partnering with PDO company who can help you to deliver this team is a first step. But if you currently have in your company a big team of Java developers or PHP developers, and you will think that, yeah, maybe they can do this AppExchange app for you, it can be a long journey. And last but not least, Salesforce has a very specific requirements about security and compliance. So either you are going to align with expectation or you are going to face the security review, which means that if you have a very unique requirements which you would like to implement in your app, you may find that Salesforce platform is not going to be a perfect fit for your idea. If after this quick check, you think that it's a way to go, beginning is quite easy because you just need to register at partnersalesforce.com, join the AppExchange partner community. You can do it for free anytime. It's not a big deal. Then, to become a Salesforce partner, you must sign Salesforce Partner Program Agreement. It's a generic agreement, kind of code of conduct. Regardless if you are planning to publish free or paid application, you have to sign it. And from this moment, we are starting to focus on the paid application. So for the rest of the webinar, we are going to have idea that we are planning to earn some money on an AppExchange app. In this case, you must submit your business plan to Salesforce team. They would like to hear about your product architecture, about your business idea. If you have some compliance certification in your company, as well, you are going to be asked for them. And the reason why is that you are not only going to publish your application on AppExchange, you are going to become Salesforce partner. And then for this kind of the partnership, Salesforce team would really like to understand what kind of the apps are available on their market. Then, after you submit the business plan, you can expect to have a call with ISV team. And for you, it's mostly opportunity to ask questions. So if you are a new ISV partner and you have any doubts, something is not clear for you, it's a good opportunity to speak with real people and bring these concerns. And then the last moment before you will be able to publish the app, is signing your partner application distribution agreement. So it's like a formal contract when you are going to specify how we are going exactly sell your application, how we are going to manage orders. So we are going to split your revenue together with Salesforce, which means that you must inform them about every license we just sold. You are going to specify your pricing strategy and as well pick, is it going to be OEM app or ISV force available to existing Salesforce customers. After you become an AppExchange partner, we are going to have access to something what we call Partner Toolkit. So there are 3 tools available to register partners. The first one, Partner Business Org, it's the full edition of Salesforce Enterprise Org with 2 licenses which are getting forever for free. That is awesome, and compared to other industry standards, it's really nice benefit. We are going to have access to Environment Hub. So it's a place where you can create other Salesforce orgs in a trial mode to, for example, have environments for testing, for development, for providing trials to your customers. We are going to continue using DevHub, which maybe you already know from your standard Salesforce development, but in ISV world, DevHub is much more commonly used because using scratchers for development, it's a standard, and I know that in standard Salesforce projects, still many people prefer sandboxes. So for ISVs, DevHub is really important. Then you're going to have access to something called License Management App, which is a managed package allowing you to easily track who installed your app, how they are using it, and so on. And another managed package available for you for free, it's Feature Management App, which will allow you to, for example, enable or disable some features of your product on specific customer orgs. The best part, all these benefits from Partner Toolkit are available for free to AppExchange partners, even if you are planning to only publish a free application, so Salesforce is not planning to earn any money on this. Then, starting with how to make it happen, so how to design this app. I'm an advocate of customer-centric application design, and the foundation for it is always the problem. So rarely it's a good idea to start with solution, with brilliant idea for the app. You can get much better results by thinking what kind of the problem are you trying to solve and defining who is your ideal customer profile. So for who you are solving this specific problem. There are a few different ways how to define the requirements for your application. Maybe you heard already about design thinking or like similar frameworks. Personally, I really like jobs to be done. It's a little bit similar to design thinking. The scope is not so big, and it asks you to focus on a single question. Why someone would install, so hire your application to solve a specific problem, to deliver a specific job. And it helps to think what is the vision for your product and to avoid adding many unnecessary features. Then, as part of the design process, you should as well think about pricing. You can come to the idea that first you are going to build the app and then try to figure out how to sell it. It can be a problem because, like, if you think about, for example, having a bundles of features, about different tiers, about, let's say, freemium model, enterprise edition, or basic edition, if you have your starting pricing strategy in your head from the beginning, you can design and deliver a much better quality of your application if you will try to make some last-minute changes after passing security review. And last but not least, product market fit. So when you have this idea, when you define the problem, the customer, the purpose of the app, it's very important to be able to find if your application for a specific customer profile is solving their specific problem in the best way in the world, which means that you must to see where is your competitive advantage and when you are going to put your efforts for searching for customers and delivering them as much value as possible. Then, as part of the development, there are a few technologies which are already familiar to Salesforce developers. For example, dynamic Apex or flows. But to deliver AppExchange apps, there are some caveats with this technology. So for example, for flows, you can use something called flow template to allow your customers to easily customize business logic after they install of your application. Other things like customer property editors. They are like some small Lightning Web components which you can develop to help your customer system administrator to configure parameters of your other Lightning Web components. So helping you to make sure that people not only can install your application, but as well configure it correctly. For free, you can add to your managed package platform cache to improve the performance of the key components of the app. And you have access to ISV Customer Debugger. It's a very similar tool to Apex Debugger, available only for AppExchange Partners, which is going to help you to debug and search for your problems and for solutions for these problems on orgs which you even don't have access. So it's a way how you can then debug your customers' environments. As part of the design process, probably sooner or later we are going to think that your app should integrate with some external systems. So I suppose most developers are familiar with APIs or events, but for ISVs, as well, you can for free add Salesforce Connect to your package. Maybe you will decide that Canvas SDK is something worth to implement. And you will have to make decisions if you are adding these integrations. Should connected app be part of your package, or should it be only installed on one org and then shared with your customers? After we've spoken about development, the big thing is the security review process. It takes few weeks, on between 4 and 8 on average. You have to pay for every attempt. It's like around $1,000 for submission. For free application, it doesn't apply, but for paid application, and that's a big thing, if you fail this security review, then you have to pay another $1,000 for resubmission. To be honest, if you are going through it first time in your life, this process is challenging. So one way is to work with PTO partners who can help you a little bit, because if you are passing security reviews like a few times per month, then it's not so scary. If it's going to be your first security review on your own, I would strongly recommend to study about it before starting development. There are some good resources on Trailhead which will help you to understand the process. There are some public standards about secure app development. And the idea is that if you fail, it's not end of the world. End of the world would be to deliver application which is not secure and then have situation, for example, your customers' data are going to leak out. So Salesforce team is literally making the security review to help you find these vulnerabilities. Most ISVs pass security review on second or on the third attempt. So looking on the timeline, 4 to 8 weeks for attempts means that probably you can assume that it's going to take 2, 3, or 4 months to have like the approval on your application submission. To start submission process, you must configure test environment when you are going to install your package, configure it, provide some test data, so it really allows Salesforce team to test your application. Then you are going to be asked to deliver documentation, architecture documentation, user guide, and run static code analysis. So there are tools like checkmarks and SF code scanner, which are mandatory. There are some tools like Chimera, which are mandatory if you are using external systems. And if there are any findings in the static code analysis which you don't agree, so by design you decided to, for example, skip user permission check, then you have to prepare false positive documentation and explain exactly why, in your opinion, this finding from static code analysis is not a bug, it's a feature which you implemented and why you implemented it in that way. And then after you have your application, after you have the first release, the problem is that even if it works nice on your developer org, you still must deliver it to other people's. And unfortunately, these other people's at the end are going to be your customers. So having a good release management process is quite essential. There are like 2 topics which people sometimes mix together, because we can speak about deployment and about the release. So I would like to explain a little bit the difference. Deployment is adding new features, new metadata, new code to your Salesforce production environment or to your package. On the other hand, release is allowing real people to use these new features. So I would summarize that with release, everything is live when people know how to use new features, have access to them, and they are really using them. On deployment, you can deploy new metadata to production, and nobody is going to be aware of this because they don't have permission. So deployment is about technology, and release is about people. You need to, unfortunately, master both of these domains. So on the technology side, you are going to learn about different version types. You have like major releases, minor patches, beta releases. There are some technologies how to deliver new deployments to your customers. So there is something called push upgrade, which allows you to install automatically new versions of your app. And you can build some post-installation scripts. So there are some special APIs interfaces to modify some, for example, records or send some notifications after the app has been installed. On the release side, you need to have a plan. It's going to be a plan when you are going to release new features. It's going to be a plan when, for example, you install them on the sandboxes and when you are asking for feedback and when you are releasing them to the productions. Probably sooner or later, you are going to need to have a release notes because your customers would like to know what exactly has changed in the new version of the app. And you are going to send lots of messages. So as I told you, release is about people, and communication is critical component to build trust and increase adoption of your applications. And then to have all these problems, you must start onboarding new customers. The first thing you are going to think about is your AppExchange listing, so place when people are going to learn about your app. To engage them and increase chance that they are going to be interested in giving a try to your app, you are going to be expected to record a demo video. And then, last but not least, offering tries to your app increase chances that someone is going to play with it and then make a decision about buying it. So I suppose you've been on the AppExchange already many times, and you know more or less how it looks on the high level, but let's take a look a little bit closer. As the example, I have here a listing from Ask Your Document, and at the top of the listing, you can define a short text summarizing the app. Chat with your documents within Salesforce in any language. Then we have information about your pricing. So is it paid? Is it free? In this case, as we see, it's a freemium. So we have information that we can install it for free. And then probably there are some features for which we are going to start paying. There are like some sections with the recording and with the screenshots. So you can upload them, add some titles, and then person taking a look on this, they're not going to spend lots of time. You have maybe a few minutes of their attention, and then they're going to either make decision to give a try of your app or close this tab. So you can, at the end, define some highlights. Leverage the power of generative AI to quickly understand and analyze documents. You want literally from a few highlights, make situation that your potential customer will be able to answer the question, does it product solving my problems, or is something not interesting for me? And then at the end, you have information about who created the app and about the exact pricing. So at the top of the listing, there was just information that is a freemium. And at the bottom, you have a details. There is some long free trial period. For up to 500 questions, you can install it for free. Then for having like many users, many questions, you are going to turn to being a paying customers. Okay, the second step, demo. I'm going to play you a recording. It's less than 1 minute, and then we are going to speak a little bit about what your recording should cover. So let's give it a try. Okay, so we are after 35 seconds, we are done with the recording. Why is a good example of what you should do? First of all, if you make 5, 10, 20 minutes of your app recording, I have a bad news. Nobody is going to watch it. You can fight for something up to maybe 3 minutes of people attention. Having around 1 minute increase strongly chances that people are going to watch the full recording. So what you should cover then? You should show the user interface, show the problems that you are solving, show some examples, and try to deliver as much information in a quick period of time. And it's how jobs to be done can help you. So when you understand what is the core idea of your app, what kind of problem is it solving, then it's much, much easier. If you don't define what app is doing and you didn't make this homework, then you're going to have a problem to put like the nice demo in less than 1 minute. Okay, and now the trials. We have like few versions of Salesforce technologies which can help us to making a trial. Of course, if your application is simple, you can just allow people to install it for free on their org and try to play with it. If your application requires complex configuration, probably is not the best way to go because they're going to maybe have problems and just uninstall your app. Other tool, Test Drive, it's like a special Salesforce org which people can open from your AppExchange listing and play with your app without any login or registrations. So it's like a read-only user which have access to your pre-configured app. And then if your application works nicely in the read-only mode, that's awesome tool. If your applications shine only when customers create new records and do some database operations, unfortunately, Test Drive is not going to be a tool for you. And last but not least, there is Triforce. Triforce, it's a special tool which allows you to define trial templates, which literally is going to be a way to create a new Salesforce orgs with your app installed at top of it, and maybe some local configuration or some test records. Downside of Triforce, as I said, we are going to use these templates to create a new orgs for your customers. So if your customers are already using Salesforce, and the specific users are already using Salesforce, probably they would prefer to have your application available on their Salesforce org, not get a new Salesforce org just for the trial purpose. And when you think about types of Salesforce partners, there is one type called OEM. So for example, human resources companies, intellectual property products built Salesforce platform shine with using Triforce. For something which help you with your sales process, probably is not going to be optimal way. And then on this Ask Your document, which we've seen a moment ago, we have like two buttons on the listing, Get It Now and Test Drive. So from this configuration, you immediately see that you can install the app and you can access the test drive. So then for your product, you will have to pick the right trial experience. Okay, last but going closer to the end, we have some analytics and insights which you can put in your product strategy. So Salesforce offers us partner intelligence tool, which cover 3 elements. The marketplace analytics, we are going to have access to information, how many people open our listing, how they found it. So for example, did they use search or literally some social media? What about CRM analytics? You know it under many names, Einstein, Tableau, CRM, Wave. You know what I'm talking about. So CRM analytics is available for free. You have like 2 licenses as registered ISV partner, which you can use to analyze logs of your application. And the biggest part, app analytics. Salesforce is going to, after you pass security review, start collecting for you 3 types of logs: package summary logs, package usage logs, and subscriber snapshot logs. And from these logs, they differ in granularity. So subscriber snapshots are a very high-level summary of usage across orgs of your customers. Package usage logs count every click on your application, every Apex action, every Lightning Web component, every custom record creation. And summaries gather statistics on the monthly level per user. So you can have like millions of records of usage log every day. On summary logs, we are going to rather have tens or thousands of logs per month. And then thanks to the fact that you have the same analytics available for free, you can start thinking, what kind of the questions do you need to answer to build a better product, to solve in a better way customer problems, and then trying to get insights from all this data. And sooner or later, being in a startup environment means that you act fast, you're adding lots of features, and then you're going to start having problems with the quality of your app. So having a strategy how to manage problems, how to manage technical debt is going to be quite important. And when you think about your product strategy, what you are going to build during sprints, during quarters, and so on, for sure you are going to focus on adding new features, so innovations. Maybe you are going to check what is your competition working on to add new features to have some parity. Some of your new key customers are going to have a specific requirements to maybe modify something or add something to your product to close the deal. But technical debt, so solving problems with quality of your app, as well is one of the 4 components which you either have to start thinking about, or we've seen on the PDO space many customers who are successful, but after 2 or 3 years, they have so many problems with their application that they cannot innovate anymore. They cannot onboard new customers on resonating time, and then they have to stop 3 of their areas to only focus on technical debt. So having a plan how to manage it from the beginning is going to make your life just easier. And then it's good to learn who you can ask for help. Salesforce team, the business development representatives, you are going to speak with them during onboarding. They have many awesome technical advisors who can speak with you about how to scale application. And there are partner account managers who are expert in go-to-market. The challenge? Salesforce resources are available mostly to partners who are big and successful. If you are a new ISV working on a solo project, your access to this help is going to be a little bit limited. And to kind of mitigate this problem, Salesforce 3 years ago came to something called PDO program. So it's literally a product development outsourcer program. It's a super small niche of consulting partners who focus on AppExchange Partners, who are helping ISVs to either build their apps or solving problems with their apps. And then if you have like some specific questions or problems, probably going to one of PDOs can be the best way to easily get answers. So for example, at Akiva Labs, we have even some public office hours when you can come and speak with our PDO practice lead, and probably he's going at least be able to push you in the right direction. And there are like a few companies like Akiva Labs, so then you can pick whatever is best option for you. Okay, so it's lots of stuff. And as I said, our plan was not to teach you about all of this, but to give you a chance to know what you don't know and what you have to go through during probably next few years to become successful ISV partner. I'm covering these topics in details in my book, AppExchange Success Blueprint. So if you decided to buy it, we have some discount code which you can utilize to buy it with minus 20% discount. But I think it will be much more funny to have opportunity to win 1 copy for free. So thank you for watching the recording if you are not live with us at this moment. And I think, Amit, it's a moment that we can wrap the formal part of the session and go to some contest of knowledge and see, was it like worth talking to you for a half hour? What do you think, Amit?